Hey everyone, welcome into episode 20 of Tivoli Zoo. Last episode, we were joined by two guest builders, Wyatt and Eben. They helped do the amazing transformation of the coastal area down into the Asian highlands and all the way through to Toyota Elephant Passage. So, as I mentioned, that episode is going to be joined by another guest builder. His name is Lion. He's on the call with us today.
Hello.
So I tasked you with the African forest area. And this has been like, just so everyone knows, I think we've been talking about you doing this for like over a year, probably.
Yeah. It's been almost 1.5 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's no, and no surprise to anyone who's watching. I mean, it's not as if I crank out videos in a rapid fashion. So, so I'm really appreciative. You know, early on in the game, I really liked, your style and was drawn to it. I thought it would be a good fit for, Tivoli, and, we kind of threw back and forth some of the different areas that were already spoken for, and then some of the ones that were open, and the African Forest was sort of the next one available. So I can't wait to see what you did. The only thing I've seen is, I know you were having some trouble with the advanced build tool or whatever, free build mod.
Free build, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's all I did was just connect the path by manipulating the terrain. So I haven't seen anything else, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we did here. And I was running the game, and I realized that I forgot to set a cap limit on the number of guests. So there's like 2,500 guests in here right now. So I'm going to hit play, and the lag might be, I think I'm going to just go on pause so that it's not too laggy.
I always played on pause when I was building.
Yeah, so...
and I didn't have any guests in it either.
Yeah, so this, did you do anything here? Are these rocks? I can't. It's been so long since I've been over here.
Those, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I only built on the left side of this bridge.
Okay, cool. Well, this is already, I love that you can see into the habitat here. I mean, I think this was kind of their intent with the master plan, and while I know the bridge that I have is nothing even close to probably what the plan calls for, this is kind of what I was hoping, that you would start to get a glimpse into the forest area over here, and then also be able to see the savanna over here.
The kind of goal with the entire area, as you will see when we go through it, was that it should be hard to see the animals. Like you have the big open savanna and with these path views, and you can see almost the end of it. But in the forest, it should be cramped. It should be hard to see through the branches and all the trees.
Right.
And most of that, and also living here, are kind of shy, so they need to be able to hide behind trees.
Yeah, that's really good.
You kind of get a first glimpse of that right here.
Yeah, I'll play a little bit. I want to see the animals. We'll play and pause as we go. I've been looking at potentially upgrading my GPU, because I don't know how much longer I'll even be able to build in this file.
Yeah, so I couldn't get into the file at first, as you know.
Right.
I ran out and doubled my RAM.
Oh my gosh, you got more RAM just to build. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that did the trick, I guess.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, so this is something that I'm working on right now. There's a few really cool water fountains that I found just by Googling stuff, and I wanted to sort of like give in a nod to Victoria Falls here as you're kind of walking into the African forest. So as you can see, lots of work still to do, but I kind of liked this as like a little sort of pavilion where you could disperse crowds, since it's an intersection point, and then you head into the forest here. So already, like you said, very definitely gives off the forest vibe. Obviously, oh cool, you did the all right, I'm sure we'll get to that later, but I like that a lot. The little bit over the water for the train. Oh, nice.
The area like just below this bridge is not done, and you might have to clean it up, because I wasn't sure how you wanted the bridge and how it would connect into the other area.
Right. Yeah,
But,
that's totally fine. I enjoy that kind of infrastructure work. So, but I do love. Speaking of that, I love this retaining wall here. That's awesome.
Oh, that's copied. I
Oh,
stole
okay.
that directly from the the Asian area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, is that familiar? Have I seen that before? Cool. Well, we should see if we can play and watch this lady run to see. So, love all of the detail. I'm already seeing it here. The ductwork, and I love how the light passes through here with these skylights. That was a really nice touch.
So I had big troubles. Like we talked a lot about, I can't really do interiors, and this is the only interior I did for 3 of the buildings.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of happy with how it turned out, but this was 60% of my time in the file was just sitting in this building trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, especially if you look at the master plan, and I'll put up a photo kind of this area, and you can see the overhead. I mean, this area is a challenge because there's not really any concept art like the other areas. It just sort of talks about it theoretically of what it would be, and you see they've sort of blocked out shapes for the structures and things like that. So I think you nailed the shape of the structure, and I love how you just have this like narrow entrance up there, and we'll see what it looks like there. And then you come in, and it's obviously a much more substantial building. It kind of gives that hidden vibe, like you were talking about for the forests.
So I wanted to keep that theme going. Like you still have to peek through the bush and the trees to even see the animals. And Okapi are famously shy, so they should be able to kind of hide from all the visitors that would be in here.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, and I have to say, like your yards too. I mean, just looking at them are really good. I mean, you've got enough like growth of plants and things like that, because obviously an animal like this wouldn't just completely destroy any vegetation that's in there like the elephants or rhinos do. But then you've also got some worn down areas, and I love the little protection around the trees. It feels very much like a zoo type habitat for sure.
Yeah, I kind of had a thought that this area would be a little cheaper in the like rebuilding of the zoo. Like looking at the Asian area and the coastal area, they're very expensive, high themed areas, and I was kind of thinking that they kind of maybe lost most of the budget doing that, so they dialed it back a bit. Playing more to my style, obviously, but
no, I like it. Oh, this is great too. I didn't notice this. So this is how you're preventing them from getting accessing. Oh, that's really smart. I was like,
I have no idea if that's high enough, but
yeah, one of the zoo folks can the experts can comment and let us know. But that should be if it's not, that's a simple fix. I'll just dig this out more. And but I was like racking my brain of how do I keep this area separate from the savanna, and which I actually now that I see what you did here, I think I'm going to do the same thing here. I'll just build like a trench across where the animals couldn't get through. Nice. That's really smart. I was like, how am I gonna without doing something like this, without doing like a mesh fence across there? That's really cool. And then I love that it's like kept open up into that pavilion area too, that you can see down into the habitat. That's really cool. And then assuming barn here. Okay. Nice. And then
so this is what I'm talking about, that this is no interiors.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's getting to the point here where so people remember from the last sort of back, or I guess 2 episodes ago, I think, this whole area, obviously the elephant barn is super detailed on the interior. This is the rhino barn. I'm not even going to do an interior on here. I mean, it's getting to the point where I have to be really particular and choosy about where I kind of detail stuff, so that I can have a finished file to actually put on the workshop.
If it looks all right from the outside, it's usually fine.
Right, for sure. Yeah, and I love.
But this is kind of what I talked about with this area being a bit cheaper. Like I haven't hidden all the barns and all the like backstage buildings as much as in maybe the Asian area.
Right, they're not
And
as themed.
Yeah,
Right.
because this would be just a bit cheaper, and they wouldn't spend as much.
Yeah,
money on,
this reminds me a lot of some of the exhibits I've seen at like the San Diego Zoo, where they obviously have areas that are very highly themed and big budget, but then you've got other areas that are you could tell they're new, new being within the last probably 15 years, but they just don't have quite the like this would be common. But even here is just, it's good design, because from up there, you probably, that's not the first thing your eye is going to be drawn to, is that barn. And then even inside here, you're not going to see it. So it's, in a way, you've hidden it on a budget level.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, that's really good.
And over here we have the bongo.
Okay, sweet.
At a very similar yard.
Yeah, God, your yards that you make are so good.
Thank you.
Do you? I mean, I think, I'm guessing like a lot of this is fairly inspired by some of the European zoos, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I don't know a ton about. I mean, and obviously American zoos are typically, you've got unless it's someplace that's got a lot of like natural vegetation and stuff, and they kind of build the zoo through that. Most of the zoos in America kind of start as a blank slate, and like most of the vegetation you see is stuff that's been planted by them. So how do European zoos differ in that regard?
Good question. I'm definitely not a zoo expert.
Okay.
But I usually build my zoos, and you can see this in this area, that the forest was here before the zoo.
Right. Yeah.
And that's not very American, I obviously, but for me it's easier to kind of just smatter about like 100 trees and then do the paths, like going between the trees.
Right. Yeah, and I mean that kind of thing is, I don't know about in regards to zoos, but just in America in general, there's more and more, like the place that I probably encountered it the most was, I lived in Texas for a while, and in Austin, they have live oak trees all over the place, and a lot of the development going on there, if trees were of a certain diameter, they had to be preserved. They weren't allowed to be torn down. And so, things like that, it's not as uncommon anymore in America to, have a design that keeps in mind the existing landscape.
Yeah.
A place
absolutely.
like,
and I looked at the Denver, like the Denver Zoo on Google Street Map, and the primate area is basically a forest, right?
Right, for sure. Yeah,
and
that's a perfect example, actually, and that's a lot of existing stuff that they just kept there. I mean, because day one when that opened, it was pretty heavily forested. Like, there's not a lot of sunlight that gets through in those areas. But
I kind of wanted to capture that style.
Nice.
It might be a bit overgrown, but
yeah, and it'll make for a good transition away from the savanna into, because the primate panorama kind of goes on the other side of the trees. All right, nice. This is really pretty. I love how this just looks like you're almost like on a nature preserve. Like, this doesn't even look like an exhibit, really. And this is kind of, so they're in the middle of redoing the flamingo area at the Denver Zoo right now, and I think this is definitely the vibe that they're going for there.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought about building a big aviary and netting it all over. Then I decided not to, because that takes a lot of time and effort.
Oh gosh, I know, the netting pieces. It's like, it's so worth it when you get it done, but it's just such a pain. And real quick, I wanted to point out, so most of you have probably heard me talk about it several times, but Lion, his workshop is full of amazing pieces like this. Like, this is completely custom bench. All of the signs that are around Tivoli Zoo, for the most part, I would say 90% of them are all Lion's work. Things like this, the educational signs, these small details here. I mean, all of those things are the stuff that, unless you really stop and pause and look at it, I mean, it fits in so well that your brain just like recognizes it as something that should be there. And so those are the things that when you add to your zoo, just make a huge difference, I think, in selling the realism.
Yeah.
And I will definitely link to your work. I mean, all of your stuff's on the Tivoli Zoo list, but I'll definitely link to your workshop. Nice. I like this. You really, and I feel like these yards are like really well sized too. I mean, relative to what they would be in real life. I mean, they're not massive, but they're also not like you feel bad for the animal.
If you look right behind you, like to the left. Oh.
This way?
A little more to the left. Look, here this is one more area where I wanted it to be like you were looking through the trees.
Yeah.
If you're
really
lucky,
cool.
you catch a glimpse of the bongo, but you might not.
Yeah, that's really cool. Just like now.
Just like now.
Nice. I like that. That's the kind of like whimsical stuff I never think of. Like, oh, what about a little like viewing area here and stuff? I love this. This is so cool. This big tree here.
So this would be one of the old trees.
Yeah,
probably.
That's so cool.
And I love how you can still see the city buildings like through the trees.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was very intentional.
Yeah, this view is so cool. Oh my gosh. Man, it's like you're fully immersed in this forest area, but then like that immersion is broken all of a sudden with the city and stuff in the background. That's so awesome. Pygmy hippos, nice.
Yes. So I talked to Wyatt actually because I planned. Like we talked about, this area that I have built is a lot bigger than the African forest area in the master plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do forest and wetlands.
Okay.
And I kind of thought that pygmy hippos were found in wetlands because they live in the water. But why I say no, pygmy hippos live in the forest.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So I put them over in the forest half.
Nice.
Together with the bongo and the okapi.
Nice, that's awesome. And I love how it kind of looks like it's a part of the body of water out there too. Like that's really cool. It's like almost like an infinity pool or something. That's really cool. And this little platform that you come out and look on is great too. And then you've got the window for like little ones and stuff.
Yeah, so I first built only the fence, and you couldn't see anything. So I had to put it with us. Like I stared for it for 20 minutes. Like, why does this look so bad? You can't see anything. That's why.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you go back just a bit and look to the left, here's another sight line that I put in.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. That's
so this would be
cool. Oh my
the
god.
wetland.
Yeah, that's incredible. This is like now this view here is like one of my favorite things, and the bridge up there. Oh, thank you for making me go back. I can't believe I almost missed this.
Yeah, no, this is what I've been staring at for the most of the time, so I'm super happy with this one.
Yeah, that's incredible. I love this so much.
And the water goes up to the fence, so the animals shouldn't be able to jump over it.
Nice.
It's a really deep pool.
Oh, that is so cool. And again, the bridge back there, like I know it's talked about fairly regularly on like Bro Nation, but then some of the, obviously some of the other builders that are kind of in the community talking about like you always want things that sort of draw you further into areas, and like anyone who is kind of walking through here, like you're gonna want to go up on that bridge and get a better view.
Yeah. Especially when you see people up there.
That's so cool with the water buffalo walk. Like I love that you made that more shallow there so they can walk through it. That's awesome.
So I guess this would be like the Nile.
Okay.
I have no idea if these animals could live together, but I mean, those are the animals I thought about when thinking about like wetlands and stuff.
I love this so much. This is so cool.
And to the right you have, I think we should go right first.
Right, okay.
We're gonna cycle back.
All right, I'm gonna pause again so we don't lag like crazy. This episode is selling me on a new graphics card. Oh, cool. Like a little dining area.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, and these, are these from your set?
Yeah, I've done this. These are
man.
not on the workshop though.
Okay.
Actually.
God, those are
I
so
made
cool. I love this. The mud hut,
and
nice.
Again, no interior.
So
I
this
tried to
one I probably
copy-
will. Like I probably will do an interior here, and I'll
Yeah,
try.
yeah.
I'll try to.
Please do. Yes.
Yeah, I'll try to do that thing that originally I think it was done by Goron, where you can hide like using the free build mod, you hide the restaurant in the back kind of, and then you put the shops in the front. So like the guests walk up to it's like inside of the coastal exhibit building. Yeah. So they walk up to the shops and order there, but it looks like it's one big kitchen. So I'm definitely.
I tried to copy some of Racy's stuff from the like the Asian cafeteria, but I couldn't make it look good. So I thought, why bother? Just leave it to someone else.
Well, maybe if Ricey's feeling up to coming back and working in the file, maybe she'll tackle something like that too.
Yeah, I hope so.
She's, I think she and Eben are probably, when it comes to interiors, those are the two people that I think of first. It's just like their attention to detail and their design, prowess when it comes to laying the spaces out and the details going where they go. I mean, a company should probably pay Ricey a lot of money to like do merchandising for them, because everything she does is so good. But I think that's so that talking about like where you're going to sacrifice performance for details. I mean, I love this building. I love that you took the time to sink the windows into the walls here. You've got the glass panes, like it's where that to me is like an area where I'd rather make an interior here than like an interior in one of the barns back there.
Yeah, for sure.
So this I love all, like this just all feels very, very much like a zoo. I think that as we're going through, like the one thing I think I might potentially add is just like a little bit of like some themed education areas, like nothing too over the top, but just like things that they wouldn't necessarily have done originally, but as zoos kind of evolve, have added. But it's just, it feels like, honestly, it feels like you're walking through a real zoo. This is great too. So down here. You got this in here. Nice. I know this was one little tiny detail on the master plan that I was hoping you would capture, where they like give you a good view of. So this is called Duck Lake, I think, in the Denver City Park. So like this area is actually owned by City Park. So it's not a part of the Denver Zoo, but it's you get tons of birds that nest on this island, and it definitely is an attraction that people go to and sit at the city park. So that's awesome. Yeah. I'm so happy you added this. Did a nice little bench too. Okay, assuming just backstage stuff.
Yep.
So keep following the path.
Nothing to look at there.
Okay, cool.
This leads up to the bridge that we saw earlier.
Oh, so this is part of that same habitat. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So it wraps around like under the bridge.
Oh man, so cool! Another great view into the habitat, and then I'm just gonna go right to the bridge. Oh, this is awesome. Love the rock walls here, and so like this clearly they spent a little bit more budget on. Oh, this is so cool. Gosh, it's really laggy. Oh man, I'm so happy with this. Like this is better than, I mean, I don't know what exactly their intent was, frankly, with the wetlands area and section and part of the African forest, but like there's no way this would have even been on my radar. So this is incredible.
Glad you like it.
Yeah, and then you can see down there. Yeah, so even if you're coming from the other way, like you've got another thing that's going to draw you further down in there. And then it connects here. Cool. Nice. That's
exactly.
Good people moving there. That's smart. Anything down there? Just keep going.
No, that's just back to the flamingos.
Nice. I was trying to figure out where I was going to work in a playground. This is so awesome. I was like, I feel like I need one somewhere, but I had no idea where I was going to put one. This is so cool.
Yeah. This is a modular set done by Josh Goran.
Okay.
That I just kind of put together and put in here. At first I wanted to recolor it, but then I just kind of liked this like striking red through the green trees.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely, I love like the green tops fit in so well with like the forest area. And then you've got this like nice neutral tan too that, I think it's a great color scheme. It looks awesome.
Yeah. It's all Just Goran.
Yeah, he's a wizard, so.
Yeah, he's amazing.
God, that's so cool. I'm so happy you figured out a way to work one in, because like I said, I was like, I feel like every zoo has one and I don't know where I'm going to put one. So this is perfect. That's awesome. Is there any sort of like viewing or anything? Like I know some people have gone crazy.
No.
Okay.
This is contained in.
All right. I already know what's coming up.
Giraffes.
Yeah. All right. I got to hit play since there's a waterfall here. So. Oh, nice, man. Gosh, this is so good. Again, just like the way you do the yards. I mean, no, obviously hippo's gonna crush any foliage. So where are they? Are they swimming? Okay.
They're all underwater.
Nice. Nice. Oh, and then you got indoor viewing. Sweet.
Yeah. No interior though.
Awesome. And I love the the way that you have the building here definitely fits in with the architectural style of the other one at the beginning of the exhibit, and obviously this all would have been done at the same time, so it only makes sense that the buildings are similar.
So down here is the train, and I'm not sure what you wanted to do with it, so I just kind of left that open for you, but it kind of connects into the wetlands.
Yeah, I think I might. I think what I might do actually, so over here is the Peaks to Prairie exhibit. And so I might find some way to sort of make it more immersive where it's separated, and then do like beavers or something over here.
Yeah. That would be cool.
So we'll see what we end up doing there. But man, this is really cool. All right, going here. So you said no interior yet, which is totally fine.
No.
So nice, but I still love the option for underwater viewing. That's really cool. And again, that like I said, the architecture fits in so well, and I love like just this little view right here is so cool. I mean, I obviously probably pay more attention to architecture than a lot of people do, but I really like this. Man, this is so cool. Thank you. So, I mean, what else? Is there more to look at? I don't want to make sure I don't miss anything.
Nope, that's it.
Cool.
We're all done.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
There is I did a slight rebranding of the entrance.
Oh yeah. We want to show that for sure. Oh yeah. So I mean, before we do that, so like you're talking about a little bit of a rebrand. So obviously, this is one of your signs that already existed, but now we've got a custom sort of branding. And this is your background, right? Like
I'm a graphic designer and UX designer, so this is what I do for a living.
Nice, yeah, which makes total sense. And before we look at that thing too, so I've got a little blueprint yard of all your stuff over here, and then some Goran signs. So yeah, these are all by Lion. I mean, and you can see the graphic design skills are just present in everything he did. This is the color scheme of the original set, and I've just been kind of recoloring them as I've been using them for Tivoli. But I mean, you were one of the early people who was like using the font shapes as this kind of thing.
And that's so weird to me, because I was sure like everyone was doing it.
Yeah.
But I posted that on Bro Nation, and someone was like, "How did you do that?"
Right.
It's just font pieces, right?
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, and I think you've got. I haven't used it yet, but I think you've got another set.
I do.
Right. Yeah. Or I have it somewhere, I think, or I've used a couple of them, but
no, I've seen it around.
Yeah. All right. So
it's not as versatile, but a bit more designed, or how you would say.
Oh yeah, so you can see I've been messing around with color. color scheme. So this is right here. So this is going to be the new logo of Tivoli, and the new. So we'll probably like some of the original font is still around. So like I'm going to keep that, which is not uncommon. I mean, for zoos to update their their logo and their branding, but they're not going to go around and update every sign throughout the zoo. I mean, it's very similar to like other examples I've seen are like college universities will, sometimes update their logos and their branding. And then you go around to campus and it's like, there's all this font and, marketing and branding that's totally different. And they're not going to go around and do all of it. But
that was kind of my intention. So like this would be one of the logos. The old logo you used previously would be one of the old ones. And then the brand new one would be just the text one that I put in some of the signs. For sure. And I think the one area where I will also duplicate this is at the other entrance. So so I'll figure out how to do that. Especially it'll fit in really nice with this font, I think, the tickets font. So I'll figure out how to do that. But I've been trying to, so I was messing around with some of the color scheme. And most of them did not look good. This is the only one I've found that kind of looks good. I was thinking about maybe trying to outline it in white potentially, and that might help open up some options for color scheme. But the logo itself is so cool, and I love the font and stuff. I mean, it's a good nod to the real Denver Zoo logo. But it's all like one of the things I've strived for on this project is having nods to the Denver Zoo, but also letting Tivoli Zoo exist in its sort of own world. And so this is like a perfect harmony of that, of paying homage to what's there, but also kind of giving it its own unique thing. So I love it. So it's just colors of the new logo. The colors of the old logo, or Denver Zoo's old logo. But
and I think I might, and I'd love people's feedback too. So I think I tried a ton of different combinations from some of these other color schemes. So like this branding here is very prevalent. Like this color scheme is very prevalent throughout the Denver Zoo. So I tried some of those options, which, that's where I got a lot of this stuff from. You've got this sort of maroon and then the pink and white and orange, along with the green, but it just I couldn't get it to look, any combination I did on this just didn't look good. So that
looks great though.
Yeah, I think that's the sort of best option I've found. So I'd love people to kind of give their thoughts on something like that, or stick with something like this, because a lot of their branding does have hues of this sort of purple and this yellow too. So I think I think like almost a year ago even, I texted you a photo of like or sent it through Discord, one of the signs that was out there, and it has like these little colors in it throughout. So that gives you everyone an idea, again, like we said at the beginning of the episode, of how long we've been talking about Lion coming on and building, which you did not disappoint. So I can't thank you enough for the time that you spent in the project. I'm trying to find ways to immortalize everybody who's been a guest builder. We've already got Carlos taken care of. Now I've got to figure out Ricey, Wyatt, Eben, and yourself. So I definitely will do that. And I think next episode, so I was initially, I know Eben made fun of me next episode that I'm just going to pull Mike and John and let everyone else finish the project. But so I was going to have another guest builder on, Haribu. So he, I think, is still going to come on. Again, that's someone else that we've been talking about it for like a year. But I think I need one episode in between to sort of like clean up some backstage, finish some stuff that's not done. Like I kind of already started doing that over here. Some of this stuff was like in the last episode, Eben had changed this to mesh. I decided just to get rid of the sliding doors and make it just a glass wall. I figured with food here, you probably wouldn't want the smell of the sea lions kind of wafting in here. So, so so this kind of stuff I'm working on cleaning up. Even the Wyatt and Eben did, a lot of really good backstage work in the areas they worked on, but there's still like all this kind of stuff that needs to be done and fixed. And then even back here, this still needs to be done and kind of tidied up. And and then none of this is done in the backstage over here. So that's probably going to be the next episode, is working on a lot of that stuff, making sure that it's sort of tidied up. Because what I don't want to do is run out of, like, that stuff's not always the most fun thing to do, but it's the kind of thing that if you leave it till the end, it's probably not going to be very good. I'm trying to do it as I'm going, but so that'll be the next episode. And then I think Eben might also be doing a couple of interiors. He had an idea for some blank space that's kind of along this path. And then Haribu, I believe, is going to tackle the Peaks to Prairie exhibit. And then after that, all that's really left is the primate panorama over here. So getting close. I still have to finish up the city itself, which I'm not going to go too crazy on the details, just because the file is starting to lag. But that gives everybody an idea. And then it's funny, when I first did this building, I was like so proud of it, and I still really like it, but it definitely shows its age from the early game. So I'll probably do some work in updating this too, and in particular the foliage, and now that we have that cool trick with the restaurant, I'll probably redo that over here as well. But so thank you again. I really appreciate the time that you put in here, and the quality of what you did too. And I know we had already talked, just so everyone knows, he and I had already talked off screen that we'll probably have, like, I'll probably ask like Ricey or Eben if they want to try to tackle some interiors here. So I know, that's one of the beautiful things about a project like this, is everyone has their strengths, and they definitely have the.
I thought about it, like, this is really the bro coaster of Planet Zoo. Like, it has a lot of, like, guest builders on for sure, but it's undoubtedly your zoo still, if you understand what I mean. Like, sure, Eben, Wyatt, me, we've all helped, like, put our mark on it, but it's still unquestionably RubleTrillions zoo. Like, I think it's been a blast, like, building in it, and thank you so much for the opportunity to build in one of my favorite projects. Oh,
good. Well, thank you. I'm glad you were able to, and like I said, I'm really, really happy with what you did. And yeah, I mean, everybody that and even the bro coaster compliment is a huge compliment. So thank you. I mean, and I think one thing I learned is being a part of that project is it's like, that's definitely Mike and John's project, but. Yeah. The thing that I learned from working with them is that, you it's impossible to do something like this by yourself. I mean, it would take a decade to do it at the quality that it's, the level of detail that's being done. But two, the key is just finding people that, you believe in their abilities and letting them, go to work. And that's what I think I've been able to do, is just find the people that are a good fit for my style. And everybody has, I would say I've done a good job of providing a foundation, and then everyone that's come in and built has just sort of elevated what's there. And it's really cool to see, because some of the thought process and design, and things like that are things that I never even would have considered. So it's
like a real zoo, because like a zoo this size would be a collaborative process. Like, it wouldn't be one designer designing and building everything. So it kind of brings every area its own personality and like, look to it. And I think that's really cool, especially when it blends so well together.
Yes, yeah, that's the key, is having, and you're 100% right. I mean, most zoos are going to be built and developed over decades, and so you're going to have completely different companies, let alone designers working on it. And so obviously the most successful designs and collaborations or designers, I should say, are people who take what's existing and try to blend with what their own vision is. And so that's been really cool to see kind of everybody come in and put their touch on it, but also, harmonize with what's already there.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, thank you again. I'm really happy with how it's all turned out. And, yeah, everybody, forgive me, I can't remember. So you were a part of a project with, I'm spacing the name, with Zootin Towers? Yeah, Zootin Towers, yeah. So that's not really going on anymore, right?
No, that ended like 2 years ago.
Okay.
At least over a year ago.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Is there any other things you want to sort of shout out where people can see your work other than your workshop?
Not really. No, I have a YouTube channel, but I'm not using it anymore, so don't subscribe to it. But so no, not really.
Okay, cool. Well, I will definitely link to your workshop page in the description so people can check out your work there. I mean, it's just full of incredibly useful blueprints that add to the detail of your project. And if you haven't already made your way there, please do. And make sure, this is key for everybody, make sure when you go to subscribe to something on the workshop, whether it's Lion or someone else, give it a thumbs up and mark it as a favorite, because it just helps more people see their work and use it inside of their zoo, and then hopefully it motivates them to give us more awesome stuff. So yeah, thank you again. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in episode 21 in probably like a month or two, I'm hoping. So
looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.